So if you're a product owner and you need to understand how I will keep my products competent, you need to know how to incorporate the new elements that have come into the marketplace from a respect to data, Gen AI. It is here and it is real. And it is important for us to identify it. And you also should look at the reasons why. Do you know that the Gen AI fintech market space has been projected to grow to 16.4 billion by 2033 at a composite annual growth rate of 22.5%. So if you want to be a part of this change, please review this video and understand what are the different strategies that can be utilized in order to be data-driven in the new age world order and be able to swim through the coming wave and come out as a winner. So come along and let's go through this extensive research that I did as a part of data science and artificial intelligence that will help you be better positioned in the marketplace. Before we go into the outcomes and the learnings, I would like to take you through how this data was gathered and what was the methodology used in order to come up with the particular outcomes. We basically used quantitative methods and we did research surveys that were sent out to the software development team across the industry in finance as well as other relevant industries, gathering information in terms of what is their current role, what work they have done, how many years they have been in the industry, and also looked at qualitative data in terms of other demographic information, their gender, age, and location where they are situated and what is their current role. The other thing to note is almost 51% of the data that was gathered was from software development industry. Almost 29% were part of product management or product owners. Almost 80% had more than 11 years of experience in the industry. And this kind of made sure our data that was gathered, which was around 250 primary data gathered, had the required outcomes in order to further do analysis on it. The analysis that was run on this was using Python scripts, and we used the Kruskal-Wallis test in order to go through this data and understand what could be the mean median amount of information that comes out of it. And we will go through each of the results for the 3 parameters that we was shared earlier: impact on design, user adoption, and go to market. So let's talk about data-driven decision making and its impact on design. For this, we considered these different parameters. The first one was the time required for making changes to a design while doing an update. This could be applied to existing design product where we are bringing in new features, or it could be applied to things which are bringing a totally new product into the marketplace. The second, we would look at what is the total time required for prototyping, and it was found by using data analytics and gathering user data upfront, the time required was reduced by 30%. The third point that we looked at is trend prediction. While doing design, we also need to know what features to prioritize, and by using data analytics and collecting data upfront, that time also reduced in terms of trend prediction. The next point is in terms of using of big data analytics. Big data analytics essentially is information coming in from the marketplace and how it is going to impact our design in terms of software product development. The other aspect is resource. We need to know in terms of where and how many resources you will allocate to what design or feature based on the input given by the external users. So it is very important that when you are doing your design, consider the data that you can gather both internally and externally while coming up with a better design and a better outcome for your products. As part of our research, we gathered data from our set of respondents, and we were able to correlate that there was a high level of correlation between all of these aspects of design and the user feedback that we received. So because of the strong positive correlation, we built also a heat map using the data that we had. And through the heat map, we saw the correlation of 0.75 and above was for all the parameters where there was data analytics being used for design. The last point that we need to look at is that there is a very strong positive correlation between adaptability in product design being informed by big data analytics. The next aspect that we consider is user adoption. What we need to look at is the time reduction from user expectation and insights, and what are the different user behaviors that need to be considered when we looking at user adoption. What we have found from our study is that the user adoption increases by understanding, having a better capture of user insights upfront. The second area there is a benefit that we see is in terms of perceived set of data that you can capture from the users in terms of their usage. Product design and usage, there is a strong correlation. So the observed correlations can be used in order to understand and make better strategic decisions. For example, getting better user insights can give us better correlation in terms of the outcomes that we see in terms of user adoption and utilization of the products and features. So now let's talk about the use of data-driven strategies in go-to-market. In go-to-market, there are a few things to consider. The first is looking at what are the new markets to be penetrated. There are studies and the data collected shows that better use of collection of data gives you better understanding of the marketplace and you can penetrate better new marketplace. The second thing in terms is your positioning of your product. Collecting the data in terms of the other products that are there in the marketplace and the gaps there are in between, we can do a better positioning of your products gathering this data. The third thing we have to consider is to know what are the marketing strategies that you would like to use in terms of go-to market. Gathering the data upfront in terms of the previous marketing strategies and the current and the future marketing strategies will assist you in doing a better go-to market. The other aspect is in terms of resource allocation. If you know what strategies have worked and what has given you a higher return on investment, you can have a better go-to market depending on the channel that you're approaching in order to reach a particular customer. So these have to be utilized in order to get a better outcome in terms of go-to market strategies. So what would be the benefits for industry practitioners, product owners as a result of using data analytics and data-driven decision making towards product development? The first thing is reduce redesign cost. Second, you're looking at better targeting accuracy of your marketing campaigns. Third is better resource allocation across all the different areas of product development. The fourth is higher user acceptance rate. And the last is better competitive advantage in the marketplace. So today we saw from a design standpoint, if you use data-driven decision making, you're going to get better user-centric design, better software product quality, and ultimately better resource allocation that's going to give you a better outcome. And from a user adoption standpoint, if you apply data analytics and data-driven decision making, you're going to have better intuitive user adoption. Also, you're going to have a higher market share and better outcomes in terms of usage of your software products as well as the experience level of the users. From a go-to-market standpoint, market adaptability, user positioning, better adoption, usage, and experience from the user is possible by using this data-driven decision-making process. I have included a link to this study. There are other parameters that are very important in terms of driving data-driven decision-making in software product development. What were the other parameters that you would think are very key in order to look at data-driven decision-making? I would love to hear back from you, your comments and your insights and feedbacks. Hope this study is of help.